Okay, so this is Metallica's St.Anger. As you know, it was the album during the period of the band where they dealt with a lot of different stuff. You know, therapy sessions, Newsted's departure, Napster. So, you gotta think of this album in a way of Metallica coming to back. And I mean, this is honestly a relentless album. It has, I mean, yeah, I will admit some of the songs are a bit long, but this album had to come out. This was the album that basically, I mean, I don't want to say it was the soundtrack to the movie, because it really isn't. It's an album. But it's got some great songs, you know, Frantic, Some Kind of Monster, Dirty Window, you know. And I don't think a lot of people get it. If a band that just came out, you know, at this time when this album was being made and had the name Metallica on it, but it wasn't Metallica, this album would sell millions. To me, I think it's just because that it's Metallica that people can't accept that, oh, James Hetfield actually has feelings, or Lars is, you know, whatever Lars is, and Kirk is Kirk, and Bob Rock's Bob Rock. It's like, to me, it's like, you don't have to be a hardcore metal dude, fuck everything, you know, blah, 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 to make it in the, you know, it's definitely a heavy metal record. This album is relentless. You know, it's taking anger out in a positive way, which, I mean, I will admit, I barely listen to this, because you gotta be in a different mood. I used to not like St.Anger. I will admit that. There were, you know, because, I did say, there's, you know, those solos and blah, blah, blah. I mean, the only song I could kind of fathom would be Unnamed Feeling and Frantic at that time. But, I mean, that's when I was, you know, in back a ways. But, so, to me, this album definitely, it's iconic. It is definitely iconic. There are people that like it. There are people that don't. I respect the people who don't like it. I can see why, you know, after, you know, there's no solos, but it's like, come on. Most solos you think that, you know, are awesome are afterthoughts. You know, we should put a solo in because, you know, that would fit with a solo. I mean, to me, a lot of these songs don't fit with a solo. And the point of this album was to jackhammer riffs. And I mean, this album did sell good. It went number 1 in 30 countries. It is a good album. You just got to look at it a different way. You know, it's heavy. There are some heavy songs. There's no radio-friendly rock. You know, there's no singles or nice songs. It's angry. It's a straightforward, angry release, which honestly, I think this is Metallica's most brutal album. Straight through. Like, the 75 minutes of this album are just like in your face, you know, just dominant anger, you know. It's not teenage angst. I mean, these guys had everything to be angry about. Everything. Yeah, this is like 75 minutes and 7, so this is about an hour. Like a straightforward full hour of anger, you know. And I'm pretty sure this album, when it came out, attracted a lot of new metal fans. Like, new. No, I'm not talking about the genre new. Like, newer generation, the new generation of metalheads. That's how I should say it. But top favorite songs would definitely be the lead single, which I think was St.Anger, Scum, Dirty Window, Sweet Amber, which is being played right now, Unnamed Feeling, Purify is a great one. I mean, the album is good. You know, it was great that they played it at the 30th anniversary show, Dirty Window and Frantic, but Frantics, you know, they'll play that occasionally. And I don't think a lot of people understand that the reason why Metallica doesn't play certain songs is because at the time that the band's in, the songs don't fit. Like, I mean, it's like if Metallica played Low Man's Lyric on the World Magnetic Tour, it would be like, what? Why is this so? It doesn't necessarily fit. I mean, they'll play them. Like, they played Frantic occasionally. They did it in 2006. you know, they played. I mean, they played these songs, and they're also, you got to remember, they're supporting the Death Magnetic album, which was a great release. Definitely a great release, but you know, to me, it's this album. I think deserves. I mean, I'm pretty sure in the next few upcoming years, this album will be like looked at as like, okay, this is. It'll be looked at as a good album. I think people just can't learn to accept that the old Metallica is never going to come back. It will never happen. You know, Metallica is, you know, definitely. I'm not gonna say it's gone. I mean, you gotta let a band change. I let bands do what they want. If I don't like something, I don't like something. But I'm not gonna say, oh, I hate it or it sucks. You know, I will sometimes do, but I do that to piss people off. But as we see here, this is the special edition. Comes with the St.Anger rehearsals, which is awesome. They play the whole album. And then you got the CD here. And the booklet. Now, mind you, the Some Kind of Monster DVD shows Metallica at their, you know, at their fallout. They literally were about to call it quits, but I think James had to do what he had to do, and the band survived, and I give them a lot of respect for making a movie that shows them with their feelings like that. So, to me, I'm big on respect. I prefer, you know, if you can respect something or someone or anything, you'll get far in life. And to me, I respect what Metallica has done for music and what the guts that they do to put out these albums still. And, you know, to me, I'm pretty sure they don't care what anyone says about them, you know, because they've obviously, to me, I see it as people are jealous because they can't do what they did and they want to. But also, you know, I don't know, it's people's opinions. But to me, this album is very, you know, quite, it's angry. It is angry. And I enjoy it. But, you know, it definitely, and to me, it's like, when people tell me, oh yeah, you know, Metallica lost a bunch of fans after Napster and this album just kind of set in stone, it's like, yeah, you can say that, but have you seen how much people went to see them perform live when this album came out? You know how many festivals they played? Because people, I mean, yeah, it's everyone in America, I think. It's like, this album was like the comeback. I mean, the band didn't put out another, this was the first time the band put out an album in 5 years. Not counting Garage Inc. Or 6 years, 5 or 6 years. I mean, this album shows the way you can look at it is each album from Kill 'Em All to Death Magnetic, or if you want to say Beyond Magnetic, shows where the band was. It's like a history. And to me, this band, each of their albums is a piece of art. And art does has opinions. I mean, there's people who hate some pieces of art that, you know, people have made. There's people who love it. There's people who say, oh, there's not as much color. I mean, I understand that. You got to look at bands. I'm not even saying, I'm talking in general now. You got to look at bands as painters. Their albums are their, you know, their palette, their canvas. And, you know, I mean, yeah, I'll admit, you know, there are some albums by bands that aren't necessarily up to, you know, greatness with what they put out. But I give albums a chance. I mean, like I said before, you know, I didn't like St.Anger at first, and it's an album that grows on you, almost like what Load and Reload are, if you give it a chance. Most people don't give it a chance because, oh, it's not Puppets, or it's not Justice, or it's not Ride, or Kill 'Em All, or whatever, or the Black Album, depending on who you are. You know, you just gotta let, you know, bands do what they want. And I think this is why this band's so successful, and why they're part of the Big Four. But this is my somewhat of a review of St.Anger. Thank you for watching and listening. This will definitely, I'll be finding more albums to review in the meantime. Thank you.